You guys, we're experiencing a bit of technical difficulty, but we are about to start. Hello, hello, hello. I was just explaining how we're experiencing some technical difficulties, but we are about to start. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We're waiting for our guest to join. Hi, I'm seeing people leaving. We're intending on having a very candid session today, so let us buckle up. Hi, Tony, KE. I've seen your wave. Hi, Muigai. We are just waiting on our guest to join, and then we'll start. Hi. Hi. Hi, Doromutai. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to our safe space. I'm fine, Muigai. Thank you for asking. I'm doing very, very fine. I'll just keep on chatting us up until our guest joins. We're waiting for our guest to join. Also, if you have any questions or comments, kindly leave them in the DMs because we might not be able to read them here. Yes, we might not be able to read them here, but if you leave them in our DMs, my DM personally at Jane Gakaya or at Voice of a Fist, and we will get you answers or any comment, any support you can offer. If you know people who have experienced sort of the same thing we're discussing, then you can also forward their name and how to get to them on our DMs, because the more stories we put out there, the better. The more we break the silence, the louder we will be heard. Oh yay, our guest is here, guys. Hi, Hannah. Before I add her, I'd just like to insist that this is a safe space. So, yeah. Again, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hi.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, I'm seeing a whole setup.
I'm at another shoot.
Oh, wow. I'm multitasking princess over here.
Inabidi.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Karibu to our safe space.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this as well. I really admire your bravery and courage to actually want to come here and talk to people and do this. Thank you very much.
I feel it had to be done finally.
Yes, let's put people out here. Let's put them on blast. I'm excited about this session.
I am too.
All right, so let's start with what is your name and what do you do?
I'm Hannah. I just finished school. I studied design, fashion design and marketing. I'm a mom and I'm a fiance.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a boy or a girl?
I have a daughter.
Oh, nice. Say hi to her for us on behalf of the internet.
And
Nice. So, what encouraged you to sharing your story with us today? Where did you get this courage to do this?
well, I have had a lot of experiences all through growing up with pedophiles and men who thought their hands couldn't stay in their pockets. And this made me feel I need to speak out because this person keeps hurting people.
Oh, he's
And I
still
know
doing it.
yeah. And
Oh,
also the other men
no.
out there and keep hurting people, and I didn't say anything then. And I should have said, but I wasn't brave enough, but now I am.
Yes, girl, for you and for the masses.
Yes.
Nice. How did you get courage to talk about this experience? What is giving you the inspiration to actually sit down here and tell us your story?
This will sound weird, but getting raped actually courage to talk about getting raped.
Wow, that's deep. That's very, very deep.
Yeah.
So you are channeling energy from that experience.
Yes, because the previous experiences were always so invalidated. They were like, it didn't get that far. You shouldn't be overreacting about this. But it really does affect you. Because most of it happened when I was a child. I was 8 years old. I was 10 years old. I was 12 years old.
No.
And they tell you it didn't get that far. So you should just pipe down.
Yeah.
So now, so are you going to tell me to shut up again?
Anymore, imagine. So then the more you keep quiet, the more it will keep happening.
Exactly.
Wow. So how did you know the guy who did that to you, who raped you? How did you know Munga? Now I know it's called Munga.
Yeah. We met, actually, it was a really nice story of how we met. We met when I was 15, he was like 20. It wasn't any pedophilic stuff. We were just friends. We became friends, and over the years, hadi nikamaliza shule, and like at around Form 3, he got his girlfriend. But I was like, Z, I know where this is going, so, So I put him on hold. Then I finished, and on November 23rd, 2018, I remember this so well. I just finished school. I was like, you remember what you asked me like a million years ago? See, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay now. So we were in a relationship, and we had been the best of friends for like those 3 years.
Yeah.
So now I was thinking, who would be better to date than your best friend? Because and so we started dating, and that's when everything changed. The whole dynamic changed. Yeah. We had this really, wholesome conversation of let nothing change. We still remain. We still uphold trust and friendship overall.
We're never going to change who we are.
Yeah, and we respect each other and all that. So this relationship was problems from the beginning, because I lost my virginity too, right? It was May, but 2 months into it was March 15th, and 2 months into it, he tells me he slept with someone else, and I'm like,
no.
I was shattered.
I can imagine.
Mimi na kiherehere yangu nimeamka nikaenda kuvisit mtu, and they're acting all different, and then I have to tell you something. And what's worse is I wasn't led to react and, respond as I would have wanted.
You were not given that space to process and actually say what you needed to say and what had to be said. Wow.
Exactly. On you, but you can't leave me. You can't leave me. You have to do this. And when I started this relationship, I had a conversation with my mom. She was like, "Oh, so it's what you've chosen." I was like, "Yeah. So what do you intend to do?" And I was like, "I think we're going to start dating now that I've, popped my cherry with you."
Yeah.
And she was like, fine. So here are 3 things I'd like you to focus on this relationship. And she said, first, you have to cherish those good moments. 2, you have to be very strong, because it will come and you just can't leave that person because of small things. And 3, you have, I don't remember what number 3 was, honestly. I always forget number 3.
We need to shout out your mom. She has very good advice.
She does. But now she doesn't need my interpretation. Now, because she said this, I have to really put up with every bad thing that this person does.
Yeah.
So he was just a bad person, like from the start, and he used to manipulate me so much. For instance, he wouldn't let me have guy friends, but he would make all my girlfriends his girlfriends. Like, yeah, anaparafikia girlfriends zangu. Like, he'd chat with them more than I chat. He'd visit them. He'd visit people. Kuna watoto sijui kwenye oneshi sahi, but yeah, anajua.
And they're your friends. And
they're my friends.
Wow.
So you see, I'm feeling, and then he comes and tells me, hey, umseli niambia hivi. Ulikuwa unajua hivi? I was like, no, mi hakuniambia. And then he'd be like, oh, so she's more open to me. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. So in that way, I kind of lost a lot of friends. And then something happened in like 2014 that made me break up with him. So I was like, you know what? Ishia. And we broke up 8 months. Then he came back. You know, in that period, I'd really just gotten to know myself, and because I'd only been with this one person.
Yes.
So I really got to know myself, and I really built my confidence. But then he came back, and I was so lonely at that time. Okay, fine, let's get back together.
First love
and it really seemed like, and then he really seemed like he changed. And then he, in the act me is that he told me, Miss Yali mbona tuliachana. And I'm like,
hello, okay. You cheated.
Because technically, I didn't leave him because of the cheating. The cheating, unajua venye sisi wasichana, we are so tolerant of that.
Yes,
so hata mimi niliona mwacha because of that. But this one thing he did, I was like, no, hapana. It was like, okay, this was what happened. It was that era of WCW, MCM.
MCM things all over social media.
I was going through a hard time and I had been there for him. Like, I was really going hard for this guy.
Yeah.
But on that WCW, Ali post picture, akandika WCW, akandika some really nice things, matope moja, friends for life, friend in my corner, tag. But misiku, unajua when I saw it, haiku load vizuri, so I was like, oh, nika comment na nikatoka. So I get home and I open this thing and I look at this face, I'm like,
what is it?
Usi Mimi.
I'm it wasn't you. Everyone's commenting, oh. That is insane.
Like,
wow.
Me, I'm thick and thin. Uyu demata anajua alikuwa best friend yake. Uyu demata anajua what's going on. Anajua mefukuzwa shule. Anajua this. Niambia no, she didn't know anything. Why is she your friend and I'm not? Like, I'm the one who's going hard for you. So that really hurt me. The fact that my loyalty had been taken for granted so much. And that's actually why we broke up. So then he comes back and I take him I do shit. And then so this whole incident happened in May. I was doing my internship and he was having trouble. His brother alikuwa ameanza madhare, alikuwa ameanza kuwa bipolar, alikuwa anaruka na kichwa every once in a while. So it was madhare. He just realized he wouldn't be able to go back to school and all that. Ilikuwa stress mingi sana. So I told him, I was doing my internship on Gong Road. I was living in Kongware. I told him, see, then you become a place to chill. You just, let it out. Let off steam kwangu.
Yeah.
And that was our arrangement. But now the issue was every time he to hafanyi anything all day. So how come anafika kwangu 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? Na mimi nimepika 7, 8.
Nice.
Chakula ilikuwa. There's kuna restrictions or anything. So I used to get really mad and we used to argue a lot. This period brought a lot of friction between us. So then this one night tulikuwa tumehost me host alafu best friend yangu, we used to live with my best friend. I'm a host Charlie yake.
So, and double date situation.
And since we weren't having, we bought just a quarter of alcohol and some soda. And we didn't think that much. And then him and my best friend were just sitting there doing whatever, and me and the boyfriend were just dancing. And it wasn't like dancing, it was just, dancing.
Yeah, very casual.
So, yeah, then unajua kuna venye vodka hiskizanangi na mtu sometimes. So I went to the bathroom to do that.
Yeah.
And guess
especially after all the dancing, I'm sure.
And then guess who comes to check up on me? Not him. My friend's boyfriend. He was like, "Uko poa?" I was like, "I'm in Kosawa, it's fine. So then, I stayed for like 30 minutes. Already since Nimapuka, I'm kind of sober. And these people don't even look that drunk because it's only a quarter of vodka, really.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to my room. I was like, guys, let me turn in because it's like around 2.
Yeah.
So then he comes in, he kind of started a fight. And then suddenly pinned to the bed, and he's like suddenly stronger than me, so much stronger. And let me tell you, the instinct to yell for help, ilikuwa hapo. But because I knew I couldn't wriggle, earlier that week he had done the same thing, but he let up, he left me alone.
And he had tried before.
He had, but me ilikuwa two jokes.
Yeah.
So now when that happened that evening, first I thought I should scream for help. But then I thought, then my friends will find me in this state of absolute helplessness, someone's butt in the air, and my pants got where they were, and I can't deal. This is going to be so humiliating.
Yeah,
I just
and
can't.
You are lit.
And I was?
You were lit. I'm saying you were also like a bit drunk as well at the time.
No, I had sobered up. I was absolutely sober.
So you were like conscious of everything that was happening to you.
Exactly.
Oh no.
Then he presses me down to the bed, and he pushes my pants down, and I'm thinking, God, if I could just scratch this stupid face off. But I had just cut my nails like 3 days early, and I blame myself for that thing every day. I'm like, if only I had nails.
Oh no. Bad timing to cut your nails.
They had been shipping. Anyway, let me tell you, don't cut my nails ever. So anyway, that happened, and well, since I've had this experience of being assaulted continuously when I was a child, I have this shell I built in my mind where if something bad is happening to me, I retreat. Something sexually bad is happening, I retreat. And I seem there, but I'm not there. I'm blank. I don't see anything.
Your body is there physically, but your mind is not there at all. Completely off.
Just crouched and just hiding and just waiting for this to be over. So then it was over, and I didn't even realize it. All I felt was the weight come off me, and he slept. And I was so afraid of moving. I was frozen for a long time. I thought, okay, happened. This just freaking happened. This person just decided my no, because I did say no. I did. I said no. I said no, but
so you didn't have the energy. So you didn't have the energy to yell for help, but you did have the energy to say no.
I said no, but I know he's so strong, and I kind of just froze. When I'm in terror, I'm one of those people who freeze. I just freeze. One of those situations, my body refused.
Yeah.
Then that usiku, when he was, I don't know when I fell asleep, but I didn't move until when I felt like I needed to got up at like 4, and I went to the loo. And while I was going, I felt something trickle down my leg. And when I turned on the light and looked down, I saw blood and semen. Like it was thick, blood, red. I was like, when did I get hurt, first of all? Because I didn't feel this happening to me. So there's this pool of icky looking reddish, pinkish stuff running down my leg, pulling at my legs. And at that moment, I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to walk out of my room, walk out of the sitting room, and jump from my 4th floor balcony. But then, as I was leaving, my best friend, alikuwa analala sitting room, so her and her boo, I was like, watu ndio watakao kwanza kunipata. And then I also thought, they're going to find a splattered body on the ground floor, and nobody's going to explain to them what happened, and nobody's ever going to know what really happened.
Yeah, because he was never gonna confess to it.
Yeah, And my mom was going to find her child on the ground, and she wouldn't know what happened, and I just couldn't. So unfortunately, I went into the loo and wiped myself. But the thing is, I was new in Kawangware and I didn't even know any police stations per se. So who was I supposed to be? So I just went to the loo, wiped myself down, came with tissue, wiped the floor, and I sat on the floor and cried. And then this guy wakes up and tries to embrace me. I scratched his stupid face up.
Yes, girl. Oh my God, she even punched him and sat on his face. Oh my God. The nerve.
That's the thing. When I started getting violent, he crashed himself to me and just held me tight. And I was like, you know what?
Wow.
I told him, fanya hivi. Toka kwa nyumba yangu. I don't care what time it is. Toka kwa nyumba yangu na nisikuona tena. Sahau jina yangu, sahau namba yangu. Tupa simu. Just leave me alone. But unfortunately, in that part of the relationship, he wasn't listening.
Yeah.
It's like a wall. Because, you know, what led up to this was a mix of toxic treatment where he'd really be on my case killer. Sa marani. And then he criticized my cooking is bad, the sex is awful, sijui nini. Yani, all of a sudden, I am not enough. In all, I had lost all my friends. While I was with him, I made sure I lose my best wangu wote. So I really have no one to turn to. I'm thinking, sisa naambia best friend yangu nini? Exactly.
Yeah. Where do you even start?
Because this is how bad it got. I get onto WhatsApp, and if I'm not on his profile texting him, he'll call me. This is one time I had 130 missed calls, 90 messages of the same thing, and I'm like, what in the cycle is this shit?
Yeah, that's a dream.
Yani hadi simu yangu siji itumia if I'm not talking to him. It was absolute madness. I was like, bro, are you bipolar too? Because me sielewi nini.
Yeah.
And on the phone he'd be, but in person he'd be so nice, and I'd be so confused. I'm like, what's happening? What is happening? So now this happened, and I'm thinking, first of all, I can't tell anyone because mimi nitalaumiwa. Alikuwa kwa nyumba yangu, kwa yangu, ni mimi nimemvite. How am I supposed to tell anyone that this happened? And plus, no one would believe me because people like to sideline abuse that happens in relationships as mambo ya watu.
Exactly.
Achana nao. You know.
Hizi ingilia mambo ya watu wawili.
Exactly. Hakuna mtu atanibelieve.
Yeah.
For a very long time, mimi nilinyamazia by the story. And I changed my number at some point. But before I changed my number, this guy started to intimidate, threaten me, and coerce me not to tell anybody. It was everything. He really tried. And then when I finally told someone, that person didn't take it seriously. Alini ignore, Alini brush off.
Oh no, they trivialized it.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, maybe it isn't valid what happened to me, so I shouldn't really talk about it. Let me deal with it on my own. But then I met my fiance like 5 weeks later, and since this person wants to, like, fanya hivi, me kwenye niko sahi, I'm not in the frame of mind to be in a relationship. But if you can hang on to friendship, kidogo tu, I might, come to me.
Yeah, like in bit by bit.
Yeah, I might come to bit by bit and relationship. And he did. Alinipeleka pole pole. We didn't even jump into the sexual part of the relationship for like a month plus.
Oh wow, he's so sweet.
Alinipe time just to now, because I told you I've been raped. I was raped in my last relationship. I can't talk about it right now, but I'm in a bad mentally.
Yeah.
So the aftermath was really rough because after I went back to school, I went back home, I went back to school. Oh, you looked nice today. I'm like, what was this student tell you? How do you know?
Are you for real?
Silicon and his talk. And that was scary. So now, I became a burden to this very new relationship. So they kept telling this guy, Abu Duivi, nifikisha stage. And every time I find myself alone, I find myself because we were in the same school. I was like, Cheki, abunipeleke stage out, and my friends weren't in school, so ilikuwa just me na yeye. So tunashinda hivi kila saa. I'm like, no, I can't be alone. I cannot be alone because this person is after me, and then he threatened. I'm not.
What was he threatening you about? What was the threat sounding like?
I couldn't talk about it, or else he'd come after me.
Wow.
Then he started. A year later, no, 6 months later, akaanza kunitext akiniitisha ati picha zangu so that he can jack off to them. No, he wanted to jack off to my pictures.
What? So he wasn't even over you?
Alikuwa ana demand. Si kuitisha kudemand picha zangu or else.
What?
So me, I'm thinking, sasa ini nini shwali.
Yeah, like why wouldn't he just give you space and peace of mind?
And then when I finally, like, me and the guy we were dating, we actually, evolved in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We finally got pregnant, and that pregnancy was like the worst thing. Not because I got pregnant, because of what my mind went through during the pregnancy.
Yeah.
I was so paranoid. I used to carry this small hammer in my bag just in case.
Wow.
And then when I didn't know the gender, I really prayed that it was a boy, because from my past, I didn't want my baby to go through what I went through.
To go through the same thing, yeah, I can imagine.
Because, being assaulted at 8, and then at 10, and then at 12, and now I'm 22, and this shit is still happening. I'm like, no, I can't let another girl go through.
It's happening from people that you've trusted. So how do you teach your daughter how to trust?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So then my pregnancy was really rough for me in that. So then I gave birth, and this person is still bothering me. But as the years went, in that first year, what my fiancé told me, ilikuwa take one day at a time. I personally, he couldn't advise me because he had never dealt with this kind of thing, but he told me just to take it one day at a time, figure it out. And I took him for his advice, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll deal with everything that comes. Kila siku na mashetani zake.
Yeah.
So with that, it gave me strength to just move on. Although I did get into there was this time I was really drinking a lot and smoking and just self-destructive.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this other time where I just wanted to hurt this person so much and hurt myself too. So it was a real, ilikuwa just everything.
Yeah.
Then finally, this person decides they'll just keep threatening me and then asking for my friendship. Friendship.
Friendship. I mean, how is this person still walking on these streets?
I hate you. I despise you. Friendship, sasa.
From where?
So, exactly. But something happened last year. So finally, I decided to ask the right questions. Because before I'd been asking, ulianza kunichukia lini? Because someone who loves you doesn't do this to you. Ulianza kunichukia lini? But then suddenly, hi, by the way, why did you do this? Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Do you know what the answer was? Mimi, but it was so simple in itself. Seriously?
What was it? Sorry?
He said he was horny. So he did it. Yeah. The girl.
I'm done.
Me.
I am out. I am done. You know, if it's not serious, and there's just like 3 people in the house, so no one will notice.
Yeah. Nitakupa space.
I was like, nerve.
Too. Do you know, even in the beginning, he'd been calling me and offering to pay me to sleep with him once more.
Excuse me, what?
I know.
How is this person still walking on these streets?
Sis, I don't know.
Money, like, it's gotten that serious.
Honey, say alini degree levels. I was like, hadi mimi najishuku. I'm like, funny.
What is this? Of course.
What is this?
Did he ever apologize?
That's the thing. No.
What?
No.
So he comes asking for friendship. He comes asking to pay you for nude photos. And in between there, no apology. Nothing.
No. Like, what is wrong with this person?
What is wrong with him?
Mental illness is a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm. Did he have like any signs of mental health issues?
Sijui kama ni shida ako nayo ya akili ama he's just a naturally bad person.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize before. Because the more I interacted with him, I tried to block this person, but he's so insistent. And the more we interact forcefully, I realized, wow, this is not, no. Uyu hako sawa, by the way.
It's not okay. Especially if that is the reason he did what he did. I mean...
Honey! And it's someone who used to masturbate so much. So like
I use a fast man to get honey. Why does it have to be so extreme?
Yeah, like are you going through carpal tunnel? Mkono yako ya right haifanyi kazi unaumwa. Nini? What?
That is terrible.
I felt so degraded. I felt so low. Mimi hata nilikuwa naangalia this now new boy. I'm like, sasa wewe tu unaona nini? Unaona nini? Because I feel the shell of a woman.
How did you feel that up?
What? How did I feel what?
How did you feel that gap that he left, that emptiness that you started feeling?
Initially, when it happened, Mimi nilijambia, I wasn't able to fight for myself because I wasn't strong. So I started working out. Working out hardcore. And then, Mimi mwili yangu by this year workout so squaza.
Just forcing issues.
Force. So then I started. The stupid thing was, one of those times I was working out, but then when I went to gym, next time I chapa. Unajua what he said? I'm going to the gym. Now I can't do this sexually. Listen to your stamina. When did this become about fucking sex?
Oh my God! Wait. That he even thought you were doing it for him. This guy this guy is not okay. He's not okay.
The ability of this person to on sex.
Like, where does he stop? Where does it stop? You know?
He doesn't.
What? Oh my goodness.
So finally, let me tell you what happened last year. So last year, he made a great sana. Last year, he decided to, and then he told me that he was horny. So I took screenshots of the whole conversation and the whole confession and all that. Then I thought,
what to do?
So I went online. I got all his brother rafiki yake nikamwambia bebe hebu nisaidie namba ya mama ya nani, because nobody knew why we'd broken up. Only a very handful of nika get number. Si niko na screenshots na kuna vitu ame delete. Ai mimi nilicall mother nikamwambia niaje mama, unajua mbona tuliachana na nani? Niambia hapana, by the way hata huku niambia kwa heri. Nikamwambia acha nikuje. And then because I'm very paranoid whole thing, school set an appointment per se. Me, I just showed up. I was like, hey, sister mom. So this and this happened. And at first she took it like a joke. I was like, this
I'm not playing. Yeah, why would I be playing like, about something like this?
Angalia, is this screenshot tafadhali? I am not making this up. This happened. This is your son. Your son is the son of a bitch. You're not a bitch, but you know what I mean.
You know, so get what I'm saying.
I told her. And you know what she told me? At tafadhali, don't tell anybody. Don't go to the police about this. I was like, well, I don't know the statute of limitation on rape, but it's been, 3 years. So technically, I could have to mean as a fine, by the way.
Yeah, technically there won't be a case there.
Yeah. So now, and then this guy, so aliendelea kunisesha akaniambia he'll find me. He'll find who? Find
and do
me
what?
To harm me. Ni nini hajafanya already? Si akuja nichape basi.
Yeah, what's like the
Beat me
worst
in
that can happen now?
Come beat me in my house basi. Ooh,
You know? Yeah.
So it's been a real thing, this whole thing. Alafu mtu mwenye acknowledge Kenya amefanya ni mbaya. You're like, guy, nini mbaya na wewe? Are you blockheaded?
What do you even do about it?
Me, but I just kept blocking him, on and off blocking him. And then this one time, Ari told me, Fanya hivi, Ari is my fiance, he's like, Cheki, don't let this person have power over you. Just unblock him, afanya Kenya atafanya. And then I did, and then umtu can contact Tena, but it was mentally, it wasn't sitting right with me mentally. But I felt apana, even though he doesn't have that mental pull on me anymore, he's not manipulative over me anymore. Me, itaki ku interact na hiki mtu. So he's back to being blocked or whatever. And I'm just, it's been 4 years and people tell me I should just get over it, but you don't tell me how to deal with my own ordeals.
Exactly. No one understands better than you did.
And this person was the love of my life, for Christ's sake. For a period, this person was the love of my life. I give them so much power over my mind and my body. And it's taken so long to break those chains. You can't tell me to just get over it. I'm angry. I had been angry for so long. Then I'm not so angry anymore.
So.
Yeah. No, Najua, there's this one time he texted me bragging about the women he's been with, but he's also mistreated. And I was like, bro.
What?
Nini mbaya? Because it was this, unajua, sex isn't exactly consensual sex. And he's like, then I haven't had consensual sex since you. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. And you're proud of it. And you're proud of it.
So he's still doing this out here and taking advantage of women.
Yeah, but they're strong enough to leave. I wasn't strong enough and brave enough, and I didn't see it soon enough. And that kind of makes me hate myself sometimes.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm quiet about it for so long, but it's also because people invalidate you when they hear it's been done by your boyfriend because you gave your boyfriend consent. I gave him consent the first time, not every time.
Yeah, and if consent doesn't come with blood.
Yeah, and this guy seriously would never take no for an answer. Alikuwa nasikia niko umemgonga teke kwa balls. He will not give up until he will coerce you. He will guilt trip you. He will do anything, and like. It was so exhausting. He was so mentally exhausting to me. Even when I knew I loved him, it was so mentally exhausting to be with him. I tried to leave so many times, but it was never valid enough for him, for me to leave. He always needed a good reason why I'm breaking up. Nigga, I'm breaking up with you because I'm breaking up with you. It's not because I found someone else.
Yeah.
I found someone else or whatever. I just don't feel healthy around you. My heart hurts when I'm around you. My head hurts when I'm around you. Leave me alone, nigga.
What can you advise? Are there like any signs someone can look for to know that this person might end up being abusive? What signs?
Yeah.
Give us some.
One, if they always want to be in touch with you. Asubuhi hadi jioni ni kama hawana kazi ingine. My God, that is too much. It's they're smothering you because they won't let you have a life of your own.
Yeah, being extremely possessive.
Yeah, and also not letting you just live your life, have the friends you want to have, and that kind of thing, not do your thing. Unajua vitu zingine zinaonekananga romantic at first, but in truth, they're suffocating you.
Yeah, they start turning into other things down the relationship.
Yeah, for instance, I never had any weekend to myself, and sometimes I'd want to spend time with my family. Na huyo mtu haniachi because ati hana fare ya kukuja kwenye watu hata mimi siende.
Yeah, because you're stuck together like glue. You can't have your own life.
I joined at the hip. That's what my mom used to make fun of. But Joe, it wasn't healthy. It was not healthy
at all. Are there like any other signs?
Manipulation. Like nothing you do is good enough unless you do it your way. Do you know, this person wanted me to revolve around him, and it did, but haikuwa ina revolve venye anataka, so it doesn't count. It doesn't count. It's that kind of manipulation, and like, if you don't want to have sex and this person guilts you into having sex, it's like, bro, no, that's not how it works. It's not right. Like, boyfriend and everything, but Jesus, don't take offense when I say no. It was just it.
So what was the aftermath of the ordeal like for you?
Everything was hard. Everything was hard to deal with. I was dealing with depression. I was overworking myself. I was too many things so that I wouldn't have that much time to myself. And I had this really bad bouts of insomnia. And because I knew I couldn't harm him, I harmed myself a lot. But that thing was hard. Everything was just really difficult during that time. And it was mostly sad. But recently, around December, that anger just kind of faded into a kind of sadness. Like, why would someone who I loved and gave everything to turn into this monster? I denied him nothing. My body, my money, my mind, everything. Literally everything. And then you do this. Like, nini mbaya na wewe, seriously?
So the
aftermath was rough.
Is it possible to heal?
I think it is, but it'll take forever. I feel like it's taken forever to get to this place where I'm just okay. I'm like, okay, Mungu alifanya hivi. Alifanya hivi na I guess it's whatever. I just feel bad for anybody who has to date him after me, or who has had to date him, because it can't be easy. It can't be easy to date a abusive, manipulative man.
That's not even dating a person. That's surviving a relationship. Because you're literally surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So before we wind up, what advice can you give anyone who's currently being abused or has been abused and they're looking for a way to come out and get help about it? What advice can you give them?
If it's someone you can get away from them. Just sometimes
leave.
Sometimes it's a relationship, sometimes it's a parent or a brother or something. And then nobody seems to be when you tell them. So in that kind of situation, it's really hard. But if it's a relationship where you can live and go back to a warm, loving home, please, achana na huyo mtu. Tafadhali, it's going to do you so good to just get out and smell the roses once more in your life. And for those who are trapped in places they can't get away from, I am so sorry. I am so fucking sorry. Please be Pole. Just, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you have to deal with this caliber of trash. Yeah.
Okay, so just one more last thing, because I really, really want to know, and I think everyone who's there also would want to know, how did you learn to trust men again? Because some of these things, for some people, they leave completely permanent scars. And they decide, I'm going to be lesbian or I'm going to be celibate.
In all honesty, when I first met my fiancé, Ari, he had this vibe that this is a good person. Like, this is a good person. I think this is a good soul. This is purity in its purest form. This one will... So I guess to a point, you need to trust your instinct, because let me tell you, with this person, I always felt instinct. But I'm thinking, but when it comes to trusting men, hakuna formula manze. Kuna wale wabaya, kuna wale wazuri. Trust your instinct about who inakwambia ni mzuri na nani mbaya. Because at this say kuna watu, if I'm in the same room with them, I'm like, I don't want to be in this room. This person is a malevolent soul. I cannot stand them. You just, at first yes, there's that caution, there's that instinctual caution when you're around strange new men, and you're like, is there an escape route here in case anything goes wrong?
Yeah.
But you calm down and just, let people be people and just watch them. And if this person seems bad, talker, run.
Yeah.
Like the devil is at your heels.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah, for helping us break the silence. I completely and we all admire you for breaking the silence on Munga. Munga, shame on you. Shame. But thank you so much, Hannah. Atapata, things go viral. The internet is a small world.
Well, all I have to say is thank you for believing in me and believing me. And yesterday, I posted and I got a lot of feedback. Some of it was someone was trying to, invalidate what I was trying to say. But I received a lot of support from all my circles. And yes, initially I felt very ashamed to come out like this and just tell my experience because it made me out to be a vulnerable person, and I hate that. I hate it. It's my pride. But if it helps someone else to, break the cycle, realize the man I'm with, wow, no, I don't need this in my life, then worth it.
I also really wanted people to hear the story so that people stop trivializing these things and they stop blaming the victim. Because those are the two things that happen immediately a person comes out. The situation is trivialized and then the victim is blamed. So your story is why I had to get it out there.
Exactly, because me personally, ungeniuliza nilikuwa wapi? Nilikuwa kwa nyumba yangu. Nilikuwa nimevaa nini? Jeans, t-shirt, sweater, I was decent. Ilikuwa saa ngapi usiku, but nilikuwa ndani ya nyumba. Mtu alinipataje? I welcomed him into my own home. Very nicely. Warm food. Glass. But also, kuna mtu mwingine najua, this girl will never call him out, so I'm going to call him out. Billy Ojeda, you are a horrible person because this girl trusted you. Trusted you so much. You defiled her.
Shame.
Defiled her. Billy Ojeda, I know you're in the Navy right now, known as Anichapa Sana. Kuja. Come beat
we are ready, and Hannah is not alone. There's a whole squadron back here, by the way, so he better come with like a whole squadron.
Exactly. So Billy Ojeda, this is a special that you shouldn't have done. Shameful human being. I can't believe I grew up with you, asshole.
Let it out, baby. Let it out for her because she might never ever say anything.
Yeah, I know she won't. I'm on 0 day wamepitia vitu and then this guy only makes it worse. So anyway, Monga, Billy Ojeda, and anyone who decides that a girl's first yes will be yes forever, man, fuck you. All the way. And we are not sparing them anymore, and we're not being quiet about this anymore. No. We're not. And please, if the first time or the first thing you think when someone comes to you with such a story is to invalidate and question everything, wow, you are the reason. You need to ask yourself some questions. Yeah, you're the reason they still exist, harming our children. I have a daughter to care for right now, and I'm so scared. It is actually against the law. People need to understand that there is a Sexual Offences Act. It is against the law. It's not traditional that men do this and it's okay because they're the head of the family or whatever. It's against the law. Head of the family na hawana akili, foolish. You know, what are they telling us? At the African tradition, to hell with the patriarchy, manze. To hell with the patriarchy. Thank you so much, Hannah. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, Jane, for inviting me to this space. Thank you for having me here. And thank you for letting me just air it out for once. Kabisa, air it out. You're so welcome. You're very, very welcome. I will continue to chat you up in our DMs. Thank you. Have a good evening. You too. Bye. Bye. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I feel this was like a lot. I don't know about you, but I feel like this was a very heavy session. So
Yeah, I'm gonna end it there because you rape a person, then you start threatening them, then you start stalking them, and then you start offering them money to sleep with you. I mean, where does it stop? Where does it stop? And the people who are still saying that women are doing this to themselves. We have heard Hannah's story, so I will leave you to be the judge of that. How did she do that to herself? All right. Bye, guys. We have one more session on Monday. We'll be talking to Izini Kenya, breaking some myths around rape. I hope I will see you then. Bye. Thank you so much for joining.